lovely Frosty family. It's me, Karen Frost at Nail Decadence, back again with this video that you guys have been awaiting and asking me for. It is here. Woohoo! So I'm just showing you for once what I'm actually using. So I'm using the Ink London acrylic system, and I'm using some gorgeous glitter from All That Sparkles, and these are 3 colours that I have mixed myself with mica powder and acrylic powder and my pestle and mortar. I'll put a note in the cards to well, a link in the cards for the video of how I make acrylic colours, so you'll be able to see that and know how I make it, etc, etc. Now I'm preparing my nails for my enhancements. So first thing, push back the cuticles. I do still have a small amount of acrylic on my nails. I've mentioned in previous videos, but just in case you haven't watched any of those, I don't remove all of my acrylic. There's no need to. Nails don't breathe, they don't have lungs. You know, you can leave a thin layer of acrylic on them and they'll be perfectly fine. As long as it's not lifting, there's no reason to remove it, and that way you're not going down to your natural nail and filing it over and over and over and over again when you know, reapply. So that's why I leave my Thin Clear base on and only remove the lifted parts. So anyway, I've pushed back the cuticles, and then I'm using a cuticle bit and I'm going around my cuticle area, and I will do one side of the cuticle area with my e-file in forward, and then I will do the other side of my cuticle area in reverse. This is to push the dust and bits of cuticle out from underneath the proximal nail fold rather than pushing it, because if you use the e-file on all the way round on forward, it's going to, at some point halfway through across the nail, it's going to start pushing the dust and debris under your proximal nail fold, which is not what you want. So that's why we switch directions when going different sides of the nail, the cuticle bit. Anyway, so I removed my dust and I am applying my tips. So I'm showing you here, measuring up my tips, because in this set I'm using tips obviously, and then if it doesn't fit, I will use, if I'm in between a size, I'll use the bigger size, file it down to match the width of my nail bed, as you saw just now, and then I shall stick them on with glue. And this glue I'm using is actually rubbish. I really need to get some different nail glue. It's a crap cheap one. It's rubbish, absolute crap. So yeah, I'll continue measuring my nail against the nail tips and glue them on. And this one gives me a bit of trouble. Stick a bit more glue on, and then it came off. I was like, really? So yeah, stick it back on again. The glue was pants, absolute pants. Do not recommend using a cheap glue. And so index finger, measuring that up against the tip, and look at that. Drop it and then it falls into the grate and I can't get it out. Oh my giddy aunt. So I thought I'd leave that bit in, because the tomfoolery of Karen. Anyway, get my tweezers, get it out, stick it on, it's alright. Oh god, all fingers and thumbs literally. So thumbnail, same thing, pick a size, try it against the nail. If it doesn't fit, check the size below. If that's too small, then go with the bigger size, file it to fit the width of your nail, and then glue it on. And you see how I hold my fingers? I hold them like that so that I'm getting a straight direction from my fingers and my thumb. I angle it that way so that when I'm putting my tip on, my tip's not being put on wonky. That's really important. You don't want wonky nails. So now that I've finished gluing the tips on, I will blend them in. With acrylic you don't actually need to file the rest of the nail tip, because acrylic sticks to anything. It's mostly if you're using gel that you would need to etch the nail tip, but force of habit, I always mostly etch them in if I'm blending them in. It doesn't take long, you know, it's another 2 seconds to etch the tip, not a lot. Do bear in mind that when I'm blending the tip, I'm not filing on my nail. I'm only filing the tip to make it match my nail, so that there's no lip or ledge between the nail and the tip where it's glued on. Anyway, on to the dehydration and primer. I'm using the primer that goes with this system. It's, oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's their acid-free primer bonder type, and so it acts like double-sided sticky tape. It's actually really good. It works really well with this system. Don't get much lifting at all with it. So now I'm applying my thin clear base as usual. Always do this. Like I said, it's a barrier of protection between filing in your nail, and it also protects against staining from coloured acrylics. It's also adding a little bit of strength to your acrylic nails once it's all said and done, because you're sandwiching the clear around your colours, so you know you've got that extra little bit of strength. It's just good practice to put a clear base on, especially if you file back like I do instead of soaking off. It just makes sure that your nail is definitely more protected. So I will continue applying my clear bases, and oh, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the rain is hammering down. I think I spoke too soon in the last video enjoying the sun, because today it is pouring and it is cold and it is windy and it is nasty, and I don't like it. I want the sun to return. I like to sit in the garden. Come back, sun, please. So yeah, that sucks. What day is it today? I don't even know what the day is. How bad is that? Okay, it's Tuesday, the 28th of April 2020. So we've all been in lockdown for quite some time now. And I know it's hard, but we'll get through it, peeps. We'll get through it. Stay strong. We can do this. Just keep your butt at home. Don't go out acting like you're on holiday and go see your friends and let your friends come over and visit your family. No. You don't go to the park and play. No. You can go out for a walk, get your general exercise, and then you take your butt back home, please. Yeah, seeing too many things where people are just acting like they're on holiday, and it's just, oh, it's driving me nutty. We will not stop the virus that way. Selfish people. Oh, right, I'm not going to rant anymore. Karen, stop ranting. Yeah, I'm going to stop. Oh, on to the next part of the design. I'm applying that nail bed colour. I think it was, oh gosh, it was at the front of the video and I totally forgotten it already. That's how bad my memory is. My friends know me as, and my family know me as Dory. Yeah, I have Dory brain. It goes in one ear, it comes out the other. Do not retain things very well. Anyway, in with that nail bed colour, and I'm doing a side French type of design. And as you can see, I will use my brush to get that acrylic to approximately where I would like it to be, and once it's hardened I will actually file it in. But for now I just do what I can with my brush to get it as neat as I can. But because I want nice sharp defined lines between the colour in the nail bed colour, the ombre and the nail bed colour, that I do file it in, because you just get a better, cleaner line that way. I could have cut it with the craft knife, but I took the long way round and filed it in instead. I need both hands to be the same, because obviously cutting with your left hand when you're doing your other hand. Yeah, no, that didn't, no, I don't even want to chance it. So yeah, I did the filing thing so that both hands would be the same. And it's a lot of faffing, as you can see. Just making sure my wall is built up enough, but not too much, because I will actually cap them. If anyone's watched any of my other videos, you'll know I cap everything. I like the glassy look that a clear layer over the top of everything looks. I prefer it that way. I know you can build your nail with strength colours and you don't have to cap them, but I just prefer, it's personal preference, I prefer the look of everything being capped. So that's why I keep my layers quite thin. So I'm going to skip the ring finger and go to the middle finger and do the same thing again. And then I'll do the same thing again on the pointer finger and on the thumb. So I shall leave you alone and stop waffling and let you watch me create the rest of the side French style with nail bed colour, and I will come back when we get to the next point.
Tell me how you feel about us. Tell me how you feel about
us. This nail is terrible, isn't it? That acrylic is running everywhere. It's so awkward when you're doing your own hands. I've said it before, I'll say it again, doing your own nails is extremely awkward because trying to get your hand in the right perfect position is really hard, and plus I'm filming, so I'm trying to keep my hand in shot, and yeah, it's really awkward. So if my application looks pants, please bear that in mind. I'm not only filming, I'm also doing my own nails, both of which are difficult, so please don't, this is not how I would do it on someone else. It would be neater, less sloppy. Oh, that nail is a mess, but it'll be alright. It'll be alright. You'll see. It'll be fine. Everything will be alright. Excuse me, I can't talk. I'm talking too fast. Everything will be okay in the end. Trust the process. Just go with it. If it starts looking mank, don't worry. Just carry on. It'll be alright in the end.
Some say life is boring, but I disagree. I wake up and live my dream. Someday soon I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh, everyone who didn't believe it, they don't know a thing. I'm gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, 'cause I'm not giving up on my dream. I'm gonna cry, gonna cry, gonna cry. Chasing the highs, yeah, the highs, yeah, the highs. I'm gonna fail and get up, 'cause I'm not giving up on my dream. I'm not into drinking, that's just wasting time. I'd rather be spending it on working out. Some say I'm too uptight, but I disagree. I wake up and live my dream. Someday soon I'm gonna make it. Yeah, all hard work's gonna be worth it. Ooh, everyone who didn't believe it, they don't know a thing. I'm gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, 'cause I'm not giving up on my dream. I'm gonna cry,
So on to the ring finger now, where I'm doing this marble. As you can see, I dropped my first bead, never mind, wiped it on the towel, paper towel that is, and picked up another couple of beads. So that bead I double dipped into the orange and the pink, put that around the cuticle area to get a nice neat line, and now I'm going to do the marble. I've dipped into the orange, put that on the nail, then the pink, put that on the nail, then the purple, put that on the nail, and then I went into a bit of white, put it on the nail, and a bit of clear, put it on the nail, and then swish it about. Now if you look, the way I'm doing this marble, I've left it really lumpy, and I've done it that way for a reason. So I wanted deep grooves because that's where I'm going to put the glitter, and it gives this really cool effect because the glitter is sort of sunken into those grooves. It gives this depth perception, and it's a really lovely effect, especially obviously in real life when you're looking at the nails closely. It's such a beautiful effect. So that's what I was going for. I wasn't going for your traditional standard marble. That's why it probably looks like terrible application, but I was actually doing that on purpose. I wanted deep grooves to place my glitter into, and you'll see that when I put the glitter on once I've finished doing my marble. So yeah, I will just dip into different colours, add the beads on, bit of white, bit of clear here and there, and yeah, swoop my brush in and around all over the place, and get my marble going, and then yeah, fill my glitter pieces into those deep pockets that I've created. There we go. So this is where I'm putting the glitter on. I'm just using very tiny beads of clear as usual, picking up the raw glitter and adding that to the places on the nail where I'd like them to be. I'm trying to get them into those grooves. Sorry if I sound out of breath. Just went to the loo and came back upstairs. That's why I'm a bit breathy. Apologies. It's still bucketing down with rain. Not very nice. Don't know if you can hear it pitter-pattering on my window. So once I've finished putting those glitter pieces on, I will cap that nail. There we go. In with a bead of clear. Pat that around the cuticle area, tuck it in behind the colour, and then pat it down the rest of the nail. I'm leaving most of it up. Well, I'm only patting down the front of the bead. I'm leaving the back of the bead up towards the apex, because I want the apex in the back third, so that's why I was only bringing down the front part of the bead. So I'll apply another bead, and I'll bring that down. Get that as far as I can, and then apply another bead near the free edge. Make sure we get all of that marble and those beautiful glitter pieces encapsulated. It doesn't matter if I file into the marble so much, but I don't want to file into the glitter pieces. Some of the marble is quite thick where I've done those grooves, rather than letting it all spread out, you know, thinly on the nail. I have got some thicker parts where I wanted those grooves, so yeah, it's possible that I could file into it. I do manage to file into it a little bit, but not a lot. Around the cuticle area I kind of filed into it a little bit because it was quite thick there, but other than that, it didn't really file much off. It still looked gorgeous. Well, I thought it looked gorgeous. So now that I've finished capping that nail, I will file in my side Frenches. So just with a hand file, pushing against the wall, trying not to push down against the nail, because the file will cut into the nail then, you don't really want that. And I decided to file a bit of the side wall and free edge of the marble nail for some reason. I don't know, felt like it clearly. The shape was bugging me, I assume. Anyway, so on to filing in the rest of the other nails of the French line. I love this diagonal style French look. It's really cool. making my lines nice and sharp, so that when I do my ombre and butt the colours up, it will be a nice clean line. It's so awkward doing it. You can see I'm trying to hold my finger straight, because when you're doing it on yourself, you've got no, the fingers wobble all over the place because you've got no stability, because you can't hold your finger. Ugh, so annoying doing your own nails, but such is life. I'm supporting my thumb with my index finger, which makes it a bit more sturdy and easier to file. Anyway, brush the dust off, and then I shall dampen the nail down with a bit of monomer. Not a lot, just a little. I'm also going to add a little bit of clear, just in case I have filed into that bottom layer, because it's just for that added security. Right, to make sure that I've got my clear. So you see I'm swiping to make sure it's not, the clear hasn't run up the side of the wall. I don't want the clear to go up the side of the wall, because that's going to then interfere with the sharpness of my line. So I'm just trying to make sure it's on the bottom only, not up the side of the wall. So yeah, last little bit of clear on the thumb, and now we can get into the ombre. So to start the ombre, I'm using the purple colour first. I'll get that right into the corner, making sure it goes right up the wall, and blend it into the middle part of the nail. Then I'll add the pink to the middle of the nail. Again, get that up that wall, right the way up to the wall, and I am going to go over the wall slightly onto the nail bed pink, because I'll file that back and make sure I get a nice sharp line that way. So yeah, I'll continue adding tiny beads and blending each colour into the other colour as I go along. It's quite, because I'm fussy, this was quite time consuming for me. Yeah, I wanted a really, really nice blend, so I did take my time and blend my ombre, three-way ombre, as best I could. It can be done quicker than what I did it, of course it can, but I take my time when I'm doing my nails. Yeah, it's my happy place, it's my relaxation, so I take my time. A faff. If you're watching any of my videos, you know I'm a faffer. It's what I do. So once I'm finished with the blend on that nail, I will move on to the next nail and do the same thing again. And I'll do that on all the fingers and the thumb, apart from the ring finger of course, because we've already got our marble going there. So I will let you continue watching me faff about with my ombre on the next few nails, and I will come back when, or filing I suppose. I'll come back when I'm filing.
You might be the one that truly get me, and I might be the one you really want, and I feel it too, but you don't know what I've been going through. This is when you tell me that you're different. This is when you try to make me fall, convince me it's true, but you didn't even have to try, 'cause you can start a fire without a spark. Forget what I told you, forget all about that tonight. Just remember the flame, you remember the flame, alright. Forget what I told you, forget all about that tonight. Just remember the flame, you remember the flame, alright. Maybe you will tell me what you're thinking, or maybe you will give me all the blame, but I'm moving on. We're soaring up high, got no clue. How do I know what I mean to you? Yeah. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get close to you. Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel.
So now that I've finished with the ombre, I will use my hand file and go over the top of my nail, over the cover French, well, the cover pink colour, and basically file away any of the ombre colour that got on that area, so that I get that nice sharp line. So it's like when you do the reveal at the end, but this isn't the end because I'm still going to cap these nails. I did apply my ombre nice and thin because, like I've said before, I like to cap everything. So you could obviously not cap if you wanted to, but these are not strength powders that I've used to make the ombre, so that in itself would make me cap, but I cap everything anyway regardless. So to me, this is the way I like to do it. Of course, other people would do it different ways. So yeah, I'll just whip over, get any of the colour off my French pink and make sure my line is nice and crisp where the colours meet the French pink, or cover pink. I keep saying French pink. It's a cover pink because it's a French nail. I keep saying French pink. Anyway, just ignore me. Yeah, nearly finished now anyway. So I dust off, check that, make sure there's no colour left over my cover pink, and if there is, I'll file a bit more and reveal my lovely crisp line. So I've done that part. So now I will cap the nails. First thing I do, dampen the nail with a bit of monomer. Just makes the clear acrylic go slide over the nail just that little bit easier. So now I will, as you can see, the nail's quite flat still, so this is where I will add my apex. So I'll apply the bead and then I'll tuck it in around the cuticle area, and then I will drag the front of the bead down the rest of the nail, but trying to keep most of the product on that back third because that's where I want my apex to be, so that I've got a nice strong nail. And it, you know, when it grows out, it won't be too unbalanced, if you know what I mean. Right, finished capping that little finger, so now I shall cap the middle finger. Forgot what finger it was there. So again, in with a bead of clear, tap it around the cuticle area, get it nice tucked in, and then bring the rest of the bead down. This was a bit higher in the back third with my cover pink. That's why I dragged all of the bead down rather than leaving half of the bead at the back third. So just adjust and look at the nail to add the clear acrylic where you need it. There's no point adding loads to the back third if it was already quite high with the cover pink, if you know what I mean. And if you miss any bits, make sure you add a little bit more acrylic to those. So I needed a little bit more on the side there, had a bit of a dip. So just a little bit more acrylic, blend that out, filled it in nicely, and onto the index finger. And yep, same again. Tuck, 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 pat, 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 and then pull and drag. Same principle, trying to leave most of it at the back third so that I get a nice apex. Oh, there was a lump of something in my acrylic, so I'll just scrape that off. And then I'll add a tiny bit to the free edge. There we go. Oh, no, a little bit more. Oh yeah, because I scraped some off, so that side was looking a bit low. And there's something else in my acrylic again. That's so annoying. Anyway, ugh. So then I still have to add another bead because I keep scraping them off. No, there's some hard bits in my acrylic. I didn't like it, so yeah. Don't know how they got in there, but whatever. So last one is the thumb. Same principle. Get your clear bead of acrylic on. Leave most of it in the back third. Drag the front of it down. Pat and push. Then add another bead towards the middle of the nail. And then drag that down towards the free edge and cap the rest of the nail. And have a quick check. Make sure you don't have any low areas. If you do, add a tiny bit more. And then you're done. Let them harden up and we can file. Oh, I needed a bit more on that corner apparently. There we go. Have a quick look, make sure. Giving it a good look over. Oh, I noticed another low bit. Always give my nails a good look over because you don't want to have any low bits, especially where I'm adding them now, because that can be a place where the nail can crack and break. The nails have hardened enough for me to be able to file. So in with the e-file, I'm using a tapered bit to go around the cuticle area, to go underneath the nail and to sort out the sidewalls, free edge, so that I've got less to do with the hand file. So I will do that on all the fingers and then I'll go on to the next bit. I'll use another e-bit. E-bit? Really can't talk today. I'll use another e-file bit after this bit. So at the moment I'm just using this tapered bit for this particular part. So under that free edge, wherever it, because sometimes you get a bit of acrylic underneath there, so I'm just cleaning that up, making sure it's nice and tidy underneath there. And now because I'm only showing you filing on like 2 nails because it's the same thing on all of them. So I've applied my, I think it's an extra fine, yeah. I think it's an extra fine, I don't remember that. Yeah, it is. It's either a fine or an extra fine, but I think this one was the extra fine. So it's an extra fine e-file drill bit. It's not a drill, but you know what I mean. E-file bit, and I'll just whiz over. Now you can see I'm not taking off a lot of product. I'm just sort of evening out the surface a bit, so that I've got less to do with my hand file, because my hands were really hurting me that day. So the more I could do with the hand file, the e-file, the better. So I've done all of the nails now. Remember, I'm only showing you 2 of them because it, like I said, it's the same thing over and over. So in with the hand file after I'd finished with that extra fine bit, and just round off everything. Make sure there's no lines or divots or angles. Make sure it's nice and contoured beautifully, and these tips give you a really lovely C-curve, beautiful C-curve on these tips. I love these tips. I got them from AliExpress. Really nice C-curve tips. So if you need any decent tips, then yeah, have a look. Pre-pinched C-curve tips on AliExpress. Bargain. So I will do the same thing on all the nails. Again, like I said, I'm only showing you 2 of each process as I go along, because repetitive and boring. So free edge, sidewalls, and then cuticle area, whiz over the body of the nail, blend it all in. And that's all it is. Have a good filing routine and your nails will be okay. What you do on one side, you do on the other side. And yeah. I like the sort of violin move as you sort of go across the nail, but you're going sloping up and down as you're filing across. Gives you a nice curve to the nail. So you see I'm going one side, then down the other side and up and down. So that's the violin move that I was talking about. It just contours the nail beautifully. always dust off the nail and check it and have a look, make sure it's looking good. If it isn't, find a little bit more. There we go. So I'm happy with that now. So I've dusted those nails off, and now I'm using a lint-free wipe with some rubbing alcohol and getting all that dust off. And they say these are lint-free wipes, but you'll see when I put the top coat on, they're not lint-free, because I'm end up picking bits out of my nails constantly while I'm applying the top coat. It's so annoying. Anyway, using Gloss Like a Boss from the beautiful Jess at Beautiful Nails. Like I said, these are out of stock at the moment. She's no longer selling this stuff, but I'm still going to use it because I've got it. And it's a beautiful top coat. See, look, I'm picking bits out. Ugh, lint-free wipes my bottom. Wish when they said lint-free, it really meant lint-free. I haven't found a lint-free wipe that is actually lint-free yet. It's a gimmick, I swear, it's a gimmick. Oh, look at that glitter, isn't that nice? Love how that glitter just pops. Beautiful. And like I said, close up, it's got this beautiful depth to it, because the glitter's kind of sunk into those deep ridges that I created with my brush. Really nice effect. You should give it a go. Try it and let me know how you get on. I'm making a right mess and I'm having to clean it up constantly. I don't want to cure gel polish top coat on my skin for sure. Top coat all of those ombres. I really like the colours of this ombre. I was really happy with it. So we are right at the end of the video now. I hope you have enjoyed it, and for those that have asked for it, here you are. I hope it was worth you waiting. And yeah, if you've not subscribed already, why not? It's free. Please do, you know, share the love and all that. If you feel like leaving me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And if you have enjoyed the video, please click that like button and help your girl out. Yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. I love you guys. I'm championing for all of you, praying for all of you. Hope you're all staying safe, staying your butts at home, and staying sane. So that's all I've got for now, peeps. Take care of yourselves, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.
Tomorrow, could you be the one to kill my sorrows? Kill my sorrows. Maybe